there are some points there, and every project require your mark at every point. Please do not forget any one of them, because for some of the project this might be a deciding point, because the calculating system is automatic. Please do not forget any criteria and put your marks for every criteria. I guess we are ready to start. At least the timer tells me that it's high time to start. Terrific. Everyone is looking at the stage. This is quite good. We are entering the final track. We are now entering the IT section. We will have 9 presentation, and as you see, the first one to make the presentation will be Triplet Publishing, and Valery Volodovsky will tell us how the musical publishing will look like in future. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. My name is Valery. I will now introduce Triplet project. And for us, this is a new way of loving the music. For technicians, investors, and musicians, this is a platform to publish musical albums in specific applications. Basic element of every culture and industry, I'd say, the musical album, which used to live on CDs, had suffered a lot. We all know what CD is. Very obvious and familiar item. And now the equipment for reading it is not even produced anywhere. So CD is dying, basically, at present. The album transformed into sound itself, and the industry is now selling folders with files. An artist right now turns out to be just a line in your player, and behind that line there is a whole image, the whole culture that is a part of modern culture. And the hero, the protagonist, turn just a loudspeaker, you know, because before people were interested in the art of a certain, you know, artist, and now the industry is a supplier of sound. What is going to happen next? If we don't do anything about that, we will start listening to robots who will actually just compilate the music. If their protagonist does not interest people any longer, then real humans are not needed to create music. But we still have musicians who are still striving to create new musical albums. And we still have lots of fans, musical fans, who love those artists, who would like to listen to these musicians, to those beloved artists. And those fans account for 70% of the revenue. The 30% of the listeners generate for the musicians 70% of the whole revenue, and this is a very important customer part. In this digital world, didn't really have any product that would satisfy their demands 100%. So what did we do? We had a limited number of possibilities, and we made a platform to transform musical albums in mobile applications. Now every musician at home, sitting at his or her computer, can, using this our special platform, transform his or her album into application that will be available all over the world. It's very important that this is not an ecosystem for listening to albums. This is ideological thing to substitute the CD. And here are 3 very important parts: music, illustration, and text. The size of the market is appreciated to be about $60 billion. In by the year 2017, we plan to have the share of 1%. The monetization, what about it? The cost for publishing a 3-plat album will be about €350, and the royalty from selling will be about 20%. If the artist sells this album, actually, then 20% will be ours, and 80% goes directly to the musician. The promotion is quite unique. We can now we are facing the situation when the artist has to find the auditorium, has to find the public and retain them. Now these channels actually do not work any longer. So this way through artists, it's quite difficult to handle. The second channel, through the aggregators of music, like platforms that gather hundreds of thousands of artists like iTunes and other digital magazines and other digital shops and stores. We have a really good team, very experienced in musical industry and in technological musical startups that will cooperate with them. Our achievements, you can get familiar with them later. You can read about us, and we've made some publications in different international magazines. Our partners, you see, in foreign industrial and musical companies, and we work in with musicians associations. So we found quite obvious a very simple market without basically any competitors and there is an obvious demand. It gives us an opportunity to provide the industry with another step from one standard to another. And I am actually can hold my breath when I see all the perspectives ahead of us. Thank you. Any questions? The goal of transforming the musical tracks into album, it's quite easy and simple from the technical point of view. I guess that every sound redactor can actually do that. Every sound producer of every band can do that without any additional service. So what's the sense, what's the meaning of your platform, what is your novelty? We do not really consider the folder with files as an album. In our concept, we have 3 equal elements. For every track, the artist himself add 2 ways of expression, the illustrations, 10 or more images, pictures for every track. To every track, the artist adds the text of a song and some story, some tale that artist. It is not true, we can discuss it later. Now, the solution for the musician that would pack it into the application instantly and very cheaply, it does not exist in the market, actually. I will touch upon our competitors, because probably this question will arise. There are 2 possible competitors. First are application fabrics that work for any purpose and that help us to create applications for any type of activity. They have difficulty in resolution, actually. There are some applications that make streamings from different websites, and the content turned out to be just duplicates and the exact copies of the websites. This is not about albums. And the second applications and anything that are made by huge artists, very famous artists like Björk, Radiohead, but these are very expensive. You can find them at the iStore, for example, but these are artifacts, very expensive solutions that cost thousands of dollars. We are trying to create a new standard of producing musical albums. Am I correct that you are striving to work with professional musicians and professional artists? Yes, you are right. But professional musicians in the world, still 100% of them are independent musicians, and by this I mean those who are not having contracts with managers. Probably you know how Elvis Presley appeared at the market, how he entered show business. He just came to record an album for his mother. Is there any sense of limiting with just professional musicians? No, technically we're not doing that. But the startup, the start of the marketing, we plan to do with you know, some famous bands. We're now writing Linkin Park, Korn, and etc. Now we have 70 releases. They are in App Store and Google Play. You are welcome to download them from Russian artists Mummy Troll, Ivan Doron, etc. Do you earn some money on that? If yes, how much did you earn last year? If no, why? We're not earning money. Last month we signed the first agreement. We signed an agreement for 24 albums. Interestingly, it's not from the musical sphere. The Institute for Innovational Psychology decided to pack their courses into our albums, and they're willing to pay for it. We were quite surprised, but we did that. Generally speaking, there was no revenue, because to have some revenue, we have to integrate through Western partners. Through them, we will enter the world of hundreds of thousands of Western artists that will lead to very high revenues and sales. Can you comment why the artist is going to choose you and not the existing ways of spreading the content? Because the iTunes pays the percent to artists, and you are taking money about that. I don't get why shall I choose you? Because the existing solutions, industrial solutions, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Yandex Music, they are all like putting all the artists on the same line, 100% of them, and they all tell them you all have the only one need to deliver the sound. We are giving them impressions. It's like reading a book. The last question, please. Let me take that risk of asking the last question. Imagine the independent artist has sales of $100,000. 30 of them he's paying to app stores, 20 of them he's paying to you. No, 30% is like 15,000 he's paying to you. And the question is, I wonder that for $15,000 or for $5,000, one can't really buy somewhere in the region the same function of packaging the album in the application. The question is alternative price. 5 is not going to be 15, right? We have direct and indirect examples. Public does not appreciate it. Thank you very much. This was Triplet Project. Another project, please, Ivan Stun. Везет всем. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I've been to such conference. I know that everyone is going to the website immediately, imagining that we're doing something good and now somebody is trying to make something bad. They're DDoSing us. They're making DDoS attack on our website. This Везет всем online service of cargo transportation. It's the same as eBay, but cargo transportation. Let us have a look at the example. Imagine you have to move something like demonstrational platform from the Rostov region to this Open Innovation Forum. You add your request, you get some offerings from the transportation companies, you choose the best price and best condition, and you immediately get the analysis of all the offerings at the market. Another way, I am the transportation company, I'm at the Rostov, and I am going to the website, I'm searching among all the cargoes, and because I'm going back, for example, and I can take some cargo 5% less of a price. And I find it, and well, it works wonderfully for all of them. The market in Russia is more than 570 billion rubles. It was the situation in the year 2000, and now it's at the level it was before the crisis. It grows 3% a year. We all remember Saltykov-Shchedrin, which are the two main problems of our country, the fools and the roads. We're not solving them, but we are solving the problems that are really important, the defragmentation of the market and the impossibility of getting the real overview of the prices. We're working with any cargoes from 1 kilo to 40 tons, more than 21 categories of different cargoes. We earn it every delivery. This is the main source. 9.5% is a commission from every order. You see here the project Vizot Siem today. It's growing steadily. 13.5 million rubles is the whole cost of all the cargo transportation, and our revenue is 1.5 billion of them. You see the number of the people actually doing those transportation, those cargos. Those are all licensed people. Companies and enterprises that work with us, that get some benefits from us, you see here. But I would like to remind you, it's not IT. IT is a newspaper on the internet. We are a 100% cargo service. Our team, it's quite young, it's very bright. We are at the Rostov-on-Don. All the founders, except me, have logistics experience, including the creation, management, and successful realization of a logistic company. What are we looking for? We're looking for a round. We need an amount of $5.4 million. We need this money to increase the number of people in our team and to open offices. We want to open offices in the customs union countries. The next step will be the spreading of our services to the BRICS countries. You see how big and how interesting their market is. We hope to the customer to find the best transporter among others, the best price for cargo transportation. We help the transporters and the cargo transportation companies to find the cargo, and we're really caring if we speak about the environment, because the capacity is higher than the footprint is twice as less. Now our final goal is to close this circle of cargo transportation, including all the paperwork, all the transaction through the service and the electronic signature. I still have 1 minute left, and I want to say you that 75% of the requests are B2C and 25% are B2B. The average check is higher, but the cargos are not that frequent. Thank you very much. I'm ready to answer questions. Alexei Solovyov, Prostor Capital. As I get from your speech, you are doing the same product as all the other companies. Because don't tell me it's not true, because I heard the pitches of all your competitors. They tell the same about you. You are selling your products exactly as they do. Why do you believe you will be successful? Cruzabzor is not does not exist. If you heard 2 years ago pitch of Cruzabzor, they were saying the very exact same thing. When I mentioned it, I just told you it does not exist anymore. They did not survive in the market. Yes, we provided similar services, but well, it's very important to count the economy, but they could not do it. Okay, I don't get it. You're planning to sell the same thing, what they were. They failed, and you are not going to fail. Why? Why is it so? They failed, we didn't. We went through this operational point, and we are now getting some profit. So we already have not failed. They have a different story. They were more oriented to work with B2B on the auctional system. If we are going to enter fully fledged in B2B, we are going to create a big number of additional instruments for that market. It's ECB, document flow, etc., etc. Good afternoon once again. I'm well aware and well familiar with that market, and I see you are going to enter B2B market. There is an opinion that from the transportational point of view, this market is very corrupt, and to enter this market, you have to make a lot of effort. The head of the transportation agency is working under some corruptional conditions with some, counterparties. Do you have any instruments to break those corruptional barriers? Speaking about B2B, I speak about only small and medium business. We're not going to large business. We understand we don't have enough power to break those links, that corruption in there. We're speaking about the companies that require 10, 15 huge cargo transportation a year. We're not going to this monsters market. what about securities? Yes, we're working with our partner security companies and with the majority of the transportation companies that work with us provide these security services. Who is checking the quality of the cargo at the beginning, at the end? Well, it depends on the category. If we are talking about automobile transportation, they make photo reports and they are all actually have securities. It depends on every cargo and on the category of the cargo. Please, more questions? Well, we are now showing you the profitable service and you are not satisfied yet. Is it a good project though? For co-founder? They say it's a good project, which is not really good for investment, which is weird because we are successfully earning money and obviously we see what we can use to earn more and go out of Russia and into other markets. Well, thank you then, Ivan, thank you. Везет всем project. It's all becomes digital and I think that the last physical stuff that we had were presents and now we see the project that plans to transform even this.
Hello, I introduce my Giftery project. Giftery is about gifts, and we're basically the online platform for gift cards. Everybody knows these gift cards from big chain shops like MVideo, Media Market, and the others. So we made them digital and we introduced them into a corporative environment. Among our major customers, we have big corporations who motivate their employees to boost sales and implement different loyalty programs and schemes and sell a lot of gifts to holidays like Christmas and happy and birthdays. So you can imagine how big is the scale of the business. Giftery is not the B2B solution. We can also deal with online retail companies and gifting through social networks. Among our competitors, we have conventional plastic gift cards. They don't have direct integration with retail companies, as well as coupon services dissolving the value of the brand and referral marketing services. We are inter-platform solutions that could be scaled up. Our market is growing rapidly, and 2017 we are planning to increase our return investment by $1.3 billion and get half of the market to 2017. In 2 years, we managed to increase our sales by 16-fold. In the coming 3 years, we want to increase it by 7-folds, and next year we'll meet break-even point. In April this year, we were launched in the corporative segment and managed to implement a series of motivation programs and increased our turnover to 9 billion rubles, and to the coming year we want to achieve 15 million rubles. In recent 2 years we conducted a lot of work. We compiled portfolio, dealt with our partners, and we did the same basically in 2014, started working with 2 major brands, 2 banks, made a gift module, and started working with international companies, including Tango Card. That's the biggest online platform for gift cards in the Northern America. Next year, we're gonna finish our project with Eldorado retail company and provide unique conditions for our gift holders to devote money to charity. We have a young and talented team. We're really ambitious. There are 7 of us, and we managed to produce tailor-made solutions for the market. Now we are talking about Giftery Restart, Giftery 2.0. That's the completely new solution. We're managing and implementing our product ourselves. Dmitry Silov is our Chief Executive Officer. Dmitry has a success story of working with Gillette and Bunge. He introduced these companies in the Russian market and the market of the CIS. He's a successful investor with vast experience in investing, and he will reproduce this success with the Giftory brand. Georgy Lebedev is director on product development, and Alexander Perpolitsin is the main architect of the platform. What are the opportunities for our investor, potential M&A deals for the companies interested in the Russian market and possible IPO? Giftory today is a technological platform, strong team, fast-growing business, and vast potential on the market. We attract investment to develop product, manage analytic model, and expand our geography, including marketing support. That's it from my side. Welcome to your questions. Ekaterina, thank you. My question, why do you need money? You have a cool product. You have already deals with MediaMarkt, and they are bringing money to you, I guess. Why do you need us? Your own money is not enough to develop your business. Why do you need external investment? Thank you for your question. Let me explain. We want to scale up our business. We want to develop huge potential on this market, because that's the niche on the market, that's the gap we have on the market. We have ambitious plans, developing loyalty programs, and these stories. We want to expand these projects and do that here and in the coming years. So if it's still a gap on the market and you want to scale it up, why don't you do that on your own? Why do you need this acceleration of the growth? You have the clients, you have the money. We want to improve on our product. There is always room for improvement. We have ambitious plan to expand on the regions. We're improving our portfolio certificates. So currently we're interested in getting to the regions, because currently we're ahead of our competitors by 14 months, I guess, but we want to get the leader in the market. What is your product? What are you offering, and what's the unique features of it? So the end product is simple, but what are you offering? What will protect your business from competitors? You have two questions at once. What is the product as such? That's the unique gift card, electronic gift card. And on this gift card, you have up to 100 brands, including MediaMarkt, Детский Мир, and the others. And what does it give? If you get this gift card, you can visit the site and technically exchange the gift card for the product at once. So you have a gift card for 20,000 rubles. You can split it into 5 per 4,000 and many other things. So you are really flexible. Unfortunately, we have some technical problems here because we sent another presentation yesterday, but apparently they didn't get it. What's your sales cycle and how long does it take? There are different kinds of sales. If we talk about long-term sales, like a loyalty building program or employees incentives, it takes up to 2 months, including the signing of agreement. At the end of August, we won tender with Samsung Service, and we physically signed the agreement last week, and it takes time with the Samsung Service. So the question, the results from it, what will make the recoverability of our clients possible? you can present the gift cards to your employees, but how will you retain your customers? Why will they come back to you? Because we will expand our portfolio where different partners from all corners of Russia will join us. So for the same people, we will always have something new and interesting. One more short and simple question, if we have it. No? Yekaterina, thank you, and good luck to your Giftory project. Next, IT project. I don't know why it is IT, but I know that it's about healthy lifestyle, called the Elementary, and Olga Zinovyeva. Hello, I'm Olga, founder of Elementary, and I have a question to you. How many cars do we need? How many Gazelle cars do we need to put all the participants of today's event into it? 2.5. That's the number of cars we need to transport 3.5 tons of fat we managed to burn since the launch of Elementary Diet. Let's start from scratch though. Diets and proper diet is a boring and meticulous thing because you have to find the menu, go to supermarkets, cook, and so on. It's boring. You don't have any cookies, any sweets. It's so dull and tedious. And we always promise to start new life on Monday. We start on Monday, but the life is over on Wednesday or Thursday. There are those solutions on the market that can help you, but they're quite pricey. And only Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt can afford them. That's why they look so well. What the others can do, and there is the question, and there is the answer. Elementary is the answer. With us, good diet is a simple thing. You have your online subscription with us, and once a week you get the box with food, which is enough for you for a day. You'll assemble the meal. Every single day you have new menu, new meals, and you have 170 ingredients per week. Believe me, you will never ever had that before. So in our solution, you have a diet specialist, your shop assistant, any other advisors, and many other professionals. How much does it cost? That's the price, the average Moscow price person here spends on food. 700 rubles a day. It's a small miracle. You either eat fast and unhealthy or not fast but healthy. But now, having approximately the same price of McDonald's, you can keep fit, stay fit, and be healthy. We're working for the 75% of women and 60% of men who are dreaming of losing weight. In the course of our acceleration from the beginning of this diet, more than 400 people shift to our diet, and these are the feedbacks. That's my favorite. Olga, thank you so much. You changed my life. That's the new me, the new attitude to food, to me, and to myself. What's more important, you taught me to love myself. Let's move from this poetry to figures. The average price is quite high. It's 12,000 ruble. People spend on average. We're simple, it's easy to use us. Third, we have unlimited life cycle. My average customer spends 30 days on diet, and since the product is renewable and regular, you can keep on and on up to 5 and more years and develop a very special lifetime. Finally, economy on scale. All the stories on how to build internal processes, how to make them effective, we all are aware of that and we're using it. We grew by twofold so far, and our profit will be much higher this year. We want to change the world, we want to make the difference. That's our team. We made this team at business school, and our mission is to make your life simpler, easier, to motivate you, eat healthier, for you to get positive experience, so that you have a mobile application which is leading you every single day, and every day for you is a quest with 5 meals you get from our box and the mechanisms we're gonna install in there. Thank you, Olga. Thank you. Let me ask a question on diet. How is your food prepared? There are two answers to this question. Economic answer. We have 2 deliveries a week, and you make a meal on your own, and you get fresh food. We have chopped products with the vacuum package, and there is a personal answer, our conceptual answer. Time for yourself, the so-called me time. Every person should have it, and our philosophy behind it, and motivation, and achieving your targets. That's my time to interact with you as clients. Why can't you ask the question on IT? Because I don't see a strong IT component here. About mobile application. That's my question, actually. How does it have to do with innovation and mobile application? The application of the internet and mobile applications or smartphones or electricity is not an innovation as such. So what's so special with your project? Being frankly, I personally like the project very much, though. Thank you for the question. There are 2 aspects, 2 dimensions of this. Let us admit that we are making a unique product. But so first dimension, customer experience. So far we have it all in paper form, the tables for weight control and the timelines and all these things, like the path to the success, to the perfect shape. We have the idea in hand. Now we need money to transfer these ideas from paper to mobile form. Secondly, it's a challenging business in terms of operations. It's difficult to choose the best diet for every single customer. How to involve 170 ingredients into the diet, into the meals, and how not to confuse things and do the right thing for the customers. The key of success for this model is logistics. Could you please tell about logistics from 3 points of view: production, procurement, and finally delivery? Thanks for this nice question. Currently, everything is made in-house. We have our own kitchen and cooks working according to standardized procedures. They have production plan based upon the IT platform we have. Then we implement this production plan, having 3 production lines producing different types of diets. Then we have delivery services, which is also in-house. As far as I know, we don't have a large-scale delivery service for cold products. We know how to increase the number of trips for the delivery personnel up to 30 trips a day. Talking about procurement, it's still a big challenge for us. We didn't dig into it so far, but so far we have a team of cool, environmentally friendly suppliers and regular suppliers. Unfortunately, we have to work with them because that's the volume aspect which is involved. Two more questions. What are you gonna do if a big restaurant chain will launch their own project of the same kind with much higher financing and much more customers? I guess Novikov has already tried to do that, and the price was 15,000 a month. So that was a ready-to-use project. I guess that was a couple of years ago. Yes, right. That was Novikov, and the price was 5,000 a day, and I guess only 3% of the population could afford that. We're making mass product, and that's not the story about food. That's the story about values and motivation, and I here believe in my team. I think only they can do that. Maybe some restaurants will find good diet professionals, but I'm not sure that they can build the production out of that and make it in the proper way. What are your conditions for the investor? We are looking for $1 million. You had 500,000 there, $500,000. So what is the answer? What are your conditions for the investor? $1 million for what? $1 million is still not the final figure. That's our Blue Apron estimates and the DCF estimates as well. So $1 million with a discount to the next round. Right, absolutely right. Thank you, Olga. I think the next project is really an IT project. It's called Pilgrim 21, 21st Century, and Diana Sorina. As the person who travels a lot, I'm talking about me, I think there is the future for this project. Thank you for the compliment. My name is Diana Sorina, and I want to introduce you to our time machine, Pilgrim 21st Century project. Not just the moderator of the session likes traveling, but everybody in this room. Imagine you're traveling in Mediterranean. You come to Carthage or Troy. And what do you see there? You see 3 stones and a couple of columns. Of course, they're really ancient and precious, but what you feel is actually disappointment. Since we're publishing a travel magazine, we have evidence that ourselves. And once we decided to change it, we conducted marketing research using our magazine and found out that a lot of people experience the urge to see how it looked like at the time when these things were used and constructed. But tour guides or books are quite boring things to explain that, and that's how we realized that there is the room for us to take advantage of the business. So we created this mobile application, and you can make a real trip and trip in time. We use Google Glass and other Apple glasses to give unique experience for our user. It gives the opportunity to interact with historic characters and see the landscape with the eyes of people lived and the times gone by. We're working for the tourist market audience. We're aimed at Europe, and we want to establish 70 locations in places visited by more than 1.5 billion tourists a year. There are many competitors, but because this augmented reality is a trend nowadays, so there are many other companies dealing with this, but these are not our competitors, these are our partners. We take up the applications, the software, but we implement our own model, business model. We don't deal with 3D because we work with augmented reality, not 3D. We have Israeli competitors, but they face some technical difficulties, and for 3 years already they have been improving on their products. We have started our sales straight ahead. Then we are the impulse application. People feel bored and they see our application and they come to the idea to buy it, to purchase it. We don't have to spend a lot on marketing because we've signed a good contract with high-profile companies, and they are happy to promote us because that's the competitive advantage for them, promoting promising product. We have already started to work with B2G in Latvia, in particular, in B2B with the big hotel owner, and using this money, we start working with B2C. We'll work with Aurora ship in St. Petersburg and Bastille Castle in France. The project is actively developing. We celebrated our first-year anniversary during this time. We won a couple of competitions, signed a number of agreements, and some more ahead of us. So we're really dynamically working. That's our team. We have all sorts of expertise there: marketing, history, ethnography, mobile application development. One of our co-founder has been working in the Kunstkammer Museum in St. Petersburg, so we know everything about history. Now we're looking for investment for scaling up. We need to make 30 locations in the coming year. For that, we need 3.8 million for the second year and 67 million for the third year. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to your question. We're talking about content project here. Partly, yes. You didn't tell us how you make this content. There is nothing special with technologies. You told that you take the licenses from others, but the project is based on good content. The question is, who is responsible for that in your team? Because apparently there is only one person in your team dealing with content, with quality materials. And secondly, I think you have to address other kind of investors, like National Geographic's publishing houses dealing with content things, not the technology. Yes, of course, we are partly a content project. Of course, not the whole team was on the slide. We have many more professionals, and it takes 2-3 weeks to come up with the model. That's not that long. What's our room for improvement to finalize our own platform and attract partners who can install the objects in our augmented reality? As far as other investors are concerned, we are dynamically developing, and we can work both with the technological and content investors. One more question. I came to the location, and I see the information board saying, take the software to see how it used to be. But how will you tackle the problem that 95% of tourists wouldn't have this application at that time, and they could not install it because they can't download the software with roaming, being abroad, because it's too expensive? Talking about the information board, you can or you cannot have it on the site at the location. Did you calculate user acquisition cost? What's the price of attracting new customers? I failed to mention one important thing. The first location we made, that's a small city where 5,000 people lived, but it was visited by 20,000 people with their own tablets with their own devices, or they can rent a device there. Talking about roaming, the cost of internet connection overseas, of course we're going to work with Wi-Fi so that people save money on that.
Historical and ethnographic. Do you have any collaborations with universities, humanities department? If not, why not?
Help, переведите, что я уже волнуюсь и не все понимаю.
Если вам нужна помощь с консенсусом, беседовали бы с соответствующим университетом, который полно контента. Если да, то как? Если нет, то почему?
Мы как раз сейчас ведем.
We are negotiating this issue with our partners and with the locations which have already with the partners who have already the content, like people who introduced the content for the Borodinskaya battle. But we're working on that. We're working. Any other questions? So your ambition is to cover Europe first and then the whole world. So you will have a huge pile of content. How are you going to store it and provide timely delivery of the content to the customer? I don't have a good answer to this question because I'm not an IT professional. I'm market professional. Our professionals are working on that, but unfortunately, I don't have information that. Talking about this Bastille Castle in France, how many visitors you need, what should be the price of the application to have return on investment? I can tell you the price of Bastille, that's approximately 700,000 rubles. That's the price of 3D model and some other related costs, and we want to sell it for $3 approximately. Any other questions? No, we don't have them. Thank you. Thank you, Diana and Pilgrim 21st Century Project.
Olga from Elementary told that we had some difficulties in Moscow with the delivery. Probably the VROAD project and Vladislav Kudinov knows how to solve this problem, actually. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Vladislav Kudinov, and I represent the VROOT product. We optimize the transport logistics. This is the service that we provide. Probably many of you remember the Solvim Komivoyager problem in the university, creating the routes between 10 or 20 different points at the maps. But imagine you are an internet store owner and you had to deliver a big number of stuff to people. Some in the morning you have to deliver a cell phone, in the evening you have to deliver a washing machine. How do we solve this problem at present? Surprisingly, still at many companies, people hire a huge number of logistics specialists who distribute the work between couriers, and they organize quite complicated and complex routes. Modern companies, they optimize this process and they economize on 10 up to 15% of prime cost. We can provide even the companies with even higher increase with the effectiveness and help them to economize even more. Well, what happened that helped us to create the product much better than the ones that have our competitors? This is not only our fault, so to say, but the modern technologies. We do not create maps. We use the existing geolocational services that provide us with quite good data, especially about traffic. Secondly, we use the technologies, WPN technologies, that helped us to increase the speed of our service many times. And, well, thirdly, we went from obsolete technologies through GPS tracker, for example. Now we're using smartphones to receive a feedback from the drivers. All of these are new technologies, so these new opportunities demanded new algorithm. we've been working on the development of these new algorithms for about a year and a half, and thanks to the fact that we have in our teams world champions in programming from the ITMO University, and besides some other people who have about 30 years of experience of successful implementation of transport management system in Russia, Europe, and the United States. Those were people working in Fortune 50 companies. So what is VRoute exactly, and how is that working? First, we plan the routes, we count the traffic statistics, we count delivery intervals, sizes and weights of the cargoes, and time of the delivery. Next stage, when the delivery is already in process, we can manage the courier in real time. The logistics specialist sees where the courier is and can replan or change the plan of the delivery. Who is our target audience? Internet stores, courier services, distributors, and everyone who has auto parks and who consolidates the cargo. We work for small and middle companies, and usually we sell these SaaS models for a certain amount of money. And now we're focused on the IT solution market and transportation logistics in Russia, and the market is calculated as is appreciated to be about $300 million. And next year we'll probably try to go out to international market. We have a lot of competitors, which is not a surprise at all. But we have a couple of differences. The first one is the complexity of algorithms and the number of factors that we calculate. And secondly, we have created very comfortable and user-friendly interface. About 4 months ago, we started entering the market, and during that period, we signed 7 contracts on SaaS model, and now we're participating in a big number of tenders. We are naturally growing, and we don't even have enough time to process all the demands, for example, while I was coming here, I had a letter from the supermarket network Semya, who wanted to, me to make them demo, but I'm here right now, so I can't do that. So we need 15 million rubles to create a sales department to, decrease that load on us. Though it might be not the best time to create technological companies with strive to, win the international market, my brothers and I are willing to cooperate, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Can we go back to the previous slide, please? Can you please explain the Intel? This is the experience of ours. I've been working in Intel for 1 year. Misha was working at T-Systems. Before we were working at ITMO, PwC, and Summit. This is our startup school. That's why, I divided those 2 slides. These are companies. These are companies where we try to introduce our service, and this is our work experience. Can you briefly explain what is so unique about your algorithm and what's their competitive advantage in the solution of a well-known and many times solved problem? Isn't this the answer at the screen? Yeah, actually there are 2 slides that answer this question. The first of them is this one. The majority of the products and solutions were created in the 90s, and some of them at the beginning of the century. And many efforts were spent on maps, and there were no statistical data on traffic, for example, that only appeared recently. And the solution, when you have time interval, that search for local minimums is not working anymore. But we can talk about that more in details later. Well, firstly, on behalf of everyone, we wanted to apologize that you have to be here making this presentation when you have calls from your possible clients. It was written there the amount of investment 150,000 yesterday, and today it's 15 million. It's final today, and the year before yesterday it was semi-final. like quite a huge difference. Well, actually, we are looking at two strategies, and we still have not decided between them. The first one is attracting one business angel who will help us just not to work with huge funds, or probably another solution, another strategy is to work with foundations with some financial support. I will ask a regular question, not provocative at least. Our key competitive advantage is your algorithm. During the day, will you be able to show me the demo how exactly your algorithms are better than your competitors? The Intel representative is interested, right? No, if you have really some serious algorithm, you should have an optimal way of showing, demonstrating it. Yeah, absolutely. I will show you how we are selling. Usually we come to our clients, we ask them this cargo during one day. Using the Antor and other companies that have been working in Russian market for quite a long period of time, and they show us this parameter, their summary run, the primary cost of the delivery. We compare those figures. After that, they send one car on our routes just to find out that it's realistic, that it is actually possible. We calculate that it proves good results and the routes are realistic, that it's possible to realize them. Do you have plans of going out of Russia? If yes, then where? Yes, we would like to go to Germany, for example, but generally those are emerging markets, developing countries. But now we're mostly focusing on Russia because there are still lots of challenges to solve here. In the rating of quality of the logistics now, our country is in the 98th place, if I'm not mistaken, so we have a lot of work to do. No more questions. Thank you very much. If you believe in shared economy as I do, and if you believe that in future we'll use things and not own them, probably you will like the rent money as service, and Ludmila, who's going to introduce it. Thank you very much. My name is Ludmila. I represent the web service that will help everybody not to be afraid of any economic crisis. Our project will help you not to buy things, but only pay for usage. If you have a lot of stuff which you don't need temporarily, you can rent it and you can earn some money. Probably you had to deal with the classical renting system. Like the recent example, your laptop has broken and you need Sony wire with HDMI input to show something here at the stand. For some reason there is no laptop and you have to go somewhere far away, or you have to pay some money which is too much, or not, you don't have that much cash available right now. For your expectation to meet the offerings, we create the marketplace where we aggregate all the offerings from the owners of different things with the demand for that products. The regulators of the market we take on ourselves. There are different propositions from private and bigger owners, then the price is decreasing. We would like also to remind you that we help people to realize their products. Rentmania.org. We take 20% on the commission, and we try to make the deposit about 0%. This huge market of sharing economy feels really good in Europe and in the United States, and somehow it's already developing in Russia. Our ambitions are really global, so we're not only looking to Russian market actors, but also to international market actors as well. A couple of words about present economy. The cost of the attracting of the one who is actually renting something is 350 rubles, and our commission is about 1,000 rubles and even more, this average check. We are slowly becoming well known everywhere. Our company is quite experienced in B2B networks creation within the whole country, at the scale of the whole country. We have people who have experience in marketplace development, we have e-commerce specialists, but our main goal is to become #1 player and the standard in sharing economy. That's why we are open for your suggestions. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. Are there any questions? As in every other market, which is about mass consumption, the main problem is to find us mass consumption, to create that big auditorium, that target audience, which is not quite clear for me. Where do you plan to get it? How do you plan to compete with projects like Avito, that has already that target audience, and probably is your service is more sophisticated or better, or I don't know. Why are you better? What's the novelty? Because I see it like people, posting something on the internet, and some people are responding to that. Thank you for your question. Indeed, we are creating the full-fledged commerce project that has the system with client management, with some renting system. So we are working on safety and security. We are protecting the things. This is not what Avito does. We're not classified. We are a commerce platform. We hold the deposit if the owner of a product actually wants that. This is why we're unique. Well, you mentioned already my favorite part, the security part. How did your personal budget increase, or how much of expenses did you cut when you started using the rent? I am cutting my expenses 4 years in a row. I've been renting, my dresses. Now I'm renting houses, some tools, anything. This is my choice. Sharing is my life. Up to 90%. Up to 90% of my possible expenses for buying of something. Total addressable market, $350 million in the European Union. What's the source of this figure, and what is that market? This is the figure taken from the professional renting companies present in the markets with an average check where the commission is about 1,000 rubles. So the total addressable, and after that we calculate based on our commission only. Do I understand you correctly that 1,000 rubles is the amount of the commission that you take? Yes, an average check of ours is 5,000 rubles. Not having anything in, you don't have anything, even rent the sneakers. 5,000 rubles for sneakers. Well, they can be different. There are some sneakers for 120,000, rubles. But speaking about mass market, yeah, there are many products with such average check. If you're renting MacBook with a diagonal, I don't know, with many inches, you'll pay probably this amount of money. There's a huge variety of some products for children, for child safety. This, I don't know, some some equipment that you need to raise children. Actually, this is a big share for people recovering from traumas and some disabled people. How many people really in need of these products are willing to pay this money? You know, we actually already proven the demand. People are willing to take these products. They just spend enormous amount of time for search, and we want to just to give them an opportunity to save that time. Who is working on the logistics? Who delivers or who takes it? And why is .org? Aren't you non-profit? I'll start with the second question, .org, because we believe that this is a community of people who think the same, who believe in the same ideas, solving problems, and they share their experiences. And the first question was about logistics, right? Probably my answer will be quite ambitious. Service the UDO service is the one that we plan to make our delivery partner. So the one who's renting will be suggested UDO service as the delivery. What happens since your dress is renting? Is this like a logical continuation of a service, or was there any ending? No, my dresses thing turned out to be a very successful renting company. All right, last question. 2 questions with yes or no answers. Do you copy European analogs? And second, do you have Russian competitors? No, we don't copy. We don't have direct competitors. There are services that do classified, lists. We don't do commerce projects. Thank you very much, Ludmila. I will do some renting for sure. And we have 2 projects left. It's basically coming to an end. Geo CV, Yakubenko Anton. Good afternoon. My name is Anton Yakubenko. I'm the CEO of GeoCV company. We are creating an instrument that helps everyone to create a 3D model of the world around us. Do you know what companies became the most successful? The ones that took the existing opportunities in time. So I'm talking about the future perspectives. According official forecast, the next year the 3D sensors will appear in every smartphone and tablets. For these future mobile gadgets, we create a mobile application that will give every person an opportunity to scan the flat, for example, the apartment, and to get this 3D model. In comparison with panoramas, the 3D model has some advantages. You can have any recourse of watching the model. You can make any calculations distantly, and you can apply the design of interiors. We do it much faster and much cheaper. Can you compare $20 for a model and $2,000 for a model? This opportunity was already taken by our competitors in California. For example, the Matterport that had a big of investment, $26 million, though they have obvious artifacts on the texture. We have much better quality of 3D model, and we get this competitive advantage due to our scientific algorithm that helps us to gather pictures with the modeling stuff. You will ask us, how are we going to do that? How do we develop us without any 3D sensors? With these very hands, in one of our garages, we created a 3D scanner. But as you see, the hardware is not ours. We're only developing software. Going to money, our business model suggests that we are going to take $20 for every model. People will be using on the basing of the subscription. We are working for 3D imaging market, which is growing exponentially. 3D sensors will appear on the market and will open new segments of the market, especially in the real estate market. First, of course, the one that we are orienting at is the real estate for living. Many of us had faced the problem with finding apartments. When my parents were buying an apartment, we were looking a couple of pictures on the internet, and then we were like traveling 60 kilometers somewhere far away to understand that it's not going to work for us. And probably we missed a lot of wonderful options without knowing that. And this is an opportunity that many of the realtors are actually willing to pay. But real estate is just one segment. We are also planning to enter the global market starting from the United States. There are hundreds of thousands and even millions of houses in the United States that are always under some remodeling process. Our goal is to have at least 5 million houses with those 3D models made with our product. To realize and to get to this, to achieve those ambitious goals, we have this very wonderful dream team. We have a good experience in 3D graphics and modeling in Moscow State University. We create a wonderful outsourcing company, then we created and sold a startup in 3D modeling, and we made some mistakes and learned from them on some failed 3D startups as well. We have checked already the success of our technology. We got a prize from Business Incubator of Moscow State University and the prize for Business School of Economics. Our next milestone is the public beta version and, well, the delivery of sales to the United States directly. That's why we need 600,000 for 12 months. We have already investors for half of this sum. We are already residents of Skolkovo, and we are planning to apply for a grant of it. We are working in very fashionable, so to say, sphere where there are lots of venture investments and lots of interesting in technologies. When we become company number one, in 3 or 5 years, we could be bought by huge developers of 3D technologies, service companies, and some grants. If you are actually able to see the future, and if you have at least a little bit of our trust in this company, let us make this a step towards 3D world together. Thank you. What are the conditions for the investors? 300,000 for what? The first round we closed on 1.5 million. Based on my experience, it takes about 6 months to the first revenues. I believe by that time our cost will be up to 2.5 or 3 million. Like in half a year, we will have already operating version and pilot projects at least. Next question, please. If I got you correctly, you plan to take 3D modeling to the mass market, right? Yes, but we plan only work for B2B. Could you please give us a certain typical case of using this technology on this selected B2B market? The best example is EagleView example, EagleView company example. These EagleView companies is making 3D models of exteriors of the buildings. They sell this data to remodeling companies and security insurance companies. They do that in the same way as we do, but with different technologies, and they work only for exteriors. During 5 years of their existence, they start operating with 5 million buildings. They use aerophotogrammetrics. Let me finish with them, and I'll explain you a little bit. This year, they were bought by 650 million by the company who provides this data for the security sector, so to say. So this, in some sector, when there could be millions of these models, is a very good choice. This company it's making these models on its own, but our application and its usage will be so simple. So there is no need in some specific skills. You just scan it. It is all sent to a cloud, and you automatically get a 3D model. So there is no barrier for the entrance. The simplicity is one of the advantages. It's not actually a question. Please, the organizers of Open Innovations of 2015, can you sell your solution to the organizers of this event? Because I got lost on the second floor. All right, we will try to be in time for that. And now I have a question. Can you please repeat your business model? Is it SaaS, or where will you store this data? Yes, it's SaaS. For example, person is downloading a free mobile application and is paying for a subscription. The subscription is for the using of our SaaS that is automatically processing the data person is scanning, and for the transforming this data to 3D model. So how do you plan to realize the model of data processing? This will be a huge, massive of information. The cloud services, obviously, for a client, but you as a provider, how are you going to work with data? I don't really get the question or the problem. So you're going to have a lot of data, right? But you need to have an very operative access to that data. I am here at Open Innovations, and I need to use these very data on this very space through my request. Yeah, sure, it's a huge, massive amount of information, but you only need them for the period of calculation. The 3D modeling data, the one that you have to translate, it's bigger actually amount, but it's not bigger than 10-minute video on YouTube, but because it's millions of model, but not billions of videos. I think it's quite a simple technical problem that has certain technical solutions. This is not very difficult point. If there are no more questions, then thank you very much, Anton.
And the last project for today. The project is called Add Reality from St. Petersburg and Sergey Galeev with interactive screens. I welcome you all. Those I didn't greet personally. There are many familiar faces here. You had many surprises here, but I'm gonna shock you. We all live in 2014, and the good news is that the digital era is coming. The consumption culture is changing. People want to have things here and now, or they want everything at once but in different places. But when it comes to me, usually I make a decision on purchase of certain product when I'm standing at the shelf, but the shopping assistant that approaches me usually doesn't know anything about the product. What if I talk to the adult shop when I don't want anybody to approach me and explain how to use things or any other delicate situations? We all experience that. Can I help you? And the answer is no, because you don't want this intervention into your privacy. So company loses money and sales go down. And that's a disaster. My name is Sergey Galeev, and I represent the company Add Reality, which make self-service computer program software at the sales point at the shop's floor. We recognize and attract customers, we engage them in the choice, and we advise them on the sales option. Our audience was 300,000 people, and we increased the emotional value of the brand and increased the level of impulse purchase. 20% increase of sales, 10% faster, and we save up to 70% on post-production and sales staff, which is usually not qualified enough. We deal with the whole range of digital design of the shops. We use the best tool of the online shops, but in the real spaces. To do that, we have been working on our integrated project, which has a visual editor, which could be integrated with automated systems. Then we have a driver, which can show the product on walls or on the big screens, and the analytical tool, which enable the product to analyze the incoming data. This statistics was used by one of our partner, and he found out that every fifth touch of the screen led to the purchase. That accounts to 600 purchases a week, and the brand talked about that about us in the media. We sell licenses through our partner channel. Our partners are technological companies, Samsung and other companies working in system integrated solutions. We have numerous partners in Russia. In the coming 7 years, we want to take 13% of the market share from indoor shop and achieve $1.5 million revenue in December 2016 and increase our share in the retail. We have competitors, but we took the best of them. In the recent months, we have grown by 300-fold and managed to raise about 3 billion rubles, and we're planning to raise extra 11 billion. We started from Silicon Valley, but now we had the case portfolio and strong partners. We have a strong team, including technological genius, strong mentors and experts, including Intel. Currently, I can assure you that we'll be a future leader in install engagement and self-service, and we're looking for investment partners for marketing in Russia and testing in Finland, Australia, and Great Britain markets. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to your questions. Thank you, Sergey. What's the product? What's the product in your project? The software platform that has 3 main parts: visual editor, the player, and the analytics system, as well as the cloud. You can use SaaS systems for SMB sales, but currently we sell for enterprise sector exclusively. That's in particular the visual editor of scene area. Market specialists upload the content, and with one click, the content is sent to shops. It's customer sensitive. You can include different parameters as the gender and the age of the customer. You can add the automation system for shops, and now with one big brand, we make a fully automated shop using this platform. We also have a cloud statistics service, which shows the number of people passing by these devices, the conversion, so the whole cycle. That's how you can see how the content influences the effectiveness. So that is make the real world digital. Any other questions? If there are no further questions, Sergey, thank you. I want to take up the advantage and ask the question. One of our partners decided to make an interactive shop in India. Our other partners bought a lot of players in China to upgrade the existing existing networks, and we don't have anything to do with that. We just provide the hardware, and our British partners provided this for taxi services. We are looking for partners who can help us to make public service provision better here, and I can explain how we can implement that in the how we can make it to the benefit of our society. A true entrepreneur, he presented me this iPad. Thank you for our jury members for judging, evaluating these projects. We had IT projects, non-IT projects with profit and non-profit, those who were looking for 150,000 and those who are looking for 1.5 billion rubles. In half an hour, I'll ask the jury, the board members, to stay here, and in half an hour, we'll have the results downstairs on the first floor. The results will be announced there. Thank you all.